Welcome back to the Animation Station, and I know that I said in my last review, I'll see you next time for Diary of the Dead. It's because I'm trying to keep all the series reviews together when I make my big outro at the very end, so you're actually getting two extra videos today because I'm throwing in an extra series because a certain movie is coming out on the 17th, and I want to do a day one review of it. So, yep. This one should make you guys pretty happy. Because we are diving in today into Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. Yes, we're talking about the animated Mortal Kombat films. This should be fun. Let's start with the original, the Scorpion's Revenge from 2019. And I have a really long written review for this one, so please bear with me. Time to take a break from zombies and dive straight into the pits of hell with everyone's favorite bloodstained fighting game franchise, Mortal Kombat! Sorry, I can't do that shout. Way back in 2019, while the 2021 live-action movie was still in production, Warner Bros. Entertainment decided to announce a direct-to-DVD movie from their animation department that usually does all their DC comic book adaptations, WB Animation, to help fill the time and give the fans some extra content to help make the wait a little less arduous. With a focus on Scorpion, the face of the franchise, a pretty stacked voice cast of legends, Ed Boon himself heavily involved, and for the first time ever in the movie adaptations of the franchise, hard R rating with extreme amounts of gore that made Mortal Kombat so iconic in the first place. Everything seemed to be building up to a very satisfactory experience for fans of the series. However, surprisingly, the reception to Scorpion's Revenge was pretty mixed, with some really enjoying it while others were underwhelmed by it and found it a little bit messy. It has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it has a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb, so it definitely has a few people that weren't big fans of it. As for me, I firmly fall into the positive side. I loved it when it first came out, and I've only grown to enjoy it more and more every single time I watch it. And for those wondering why I'm reviewing this and its two follow-ups now instead of waiting for next year, it's because the fourth installment in this series, Cage Match, is coming out on the 17th, which is the same day as Justice League X Ruby Part 2, so you're going to be getting two movie reviews that day. And I want to do a day one review of it, so I'm throwing it into the horror marathon for this year. With all that said, let's dive into Scorpion's Revenge. When Hanzo Hisashi of the Shirai Ryu, voiced by his actual voice actor from the MK games, Patrick Seitz, is viciously murdered by his rival Sub-Zero of the Lin Kuei, voiced by Spike of Cowboy Bebop himself, Steve Bloom. He bargains with Quan Chi of the Netherrealm, voiced by Reinhardt of Overwatch himself, Darren DePaul, to let him return to Earthrealm to get his revenge. Meanwhile, Raiden, voiced by Knuckles the Echidna himself, David B. Mitchell, gathers a team of fighters consisting of Liu Kang, voiced by Jordan Rodriguez, the former soldier Sonya Blade, voiced by Dexter's sister, and horror movie legend Jennifer Carpenter, not related to John Carpenter, different family, and movie star Johnny Cage, voiced by comedian Joe McHale, and to participate in the Mortal Kombat tournament hosted by the demented sorcerer Shang Tsung, voiced by Art Butler of Star vs. the Forces of Evil fame. With all of Earthrealm at risk of invasion by the evil Shao Kahn if the Netherrealm wins this one last tournament, as well as the wrath of Kano, voiced by legend Robin Atkins Downs, also thrown into the mix, it's up to Radiant's champions to win the tournament and save their realm. There's a ton of positives to talk about with this one. The voice acting is phenomenal, Joe McHale and Patrick Seitz especially. The animation is amazing and very fluid with a distinct new style that helps it stand out from the other WB animated projects. The story is very good and faithful to the games. The characters are all spot on. The fights are fantastic, especially Scorpion vs. Quan Chi. That is an amazing fight. The gore is extreme and abundant and more than earns its hard R rating. The writing is sharp, the jokes are surprisingly very funny. Almost every word out of Johnny Cage's mouth is hilarious. The kills are brutal in the best ways possible, exactly like the games. The pacing is lightning fast and doesn't waste a single second. And the runtime is excellent and doesn't overstay its welcome. However, this one has one pretty huge flaw that many others have discussed at length in their own reviews of this movie. The first and second half of this movie feel like two separate films that were smashed together, removing almost all of the focus on Scorpion himself in said second half, during the tournament stuff, until the final act outside of a few scattered scenes. considering the movie is titled Scorpion's Revenge, that is a bit misleading. Even with that said, this is still an outstanding Mortal Kombat movie, a great animated movie in general, and just an all-around blast to watch. If you can stomach the insane gore, you're in for a fantastic time. Very highly recommended, especially for Mortal Kombat fans. You will not be disappointed. For me, the final verdict for Scorpion's Revenge is going to be a very high, well-deserved, same score I gave it in my original review back when I was limited to 27, before the actual limited to 27, 9 out of 10. This is an absolutely kick-ass movie that you guys need to check out. And if you're wondering why I'm not wearing the Psycho mask, it's because this is technically horror adjacent, not actual horror genre. I know it's confusing, but trust me, there is a reason I'm not wearing this. So, yeah, they had a pretty great start with a pretty great first film. How do they capitalize on it? They don't. They fall off a cliff. And I'll tell you next time when we talk about the horrible pile of shit that is Battle of the Realms.